Okay, so today's video, I want to cover Red Robin Volume 1. And the reason why, because I kind of want to give you guys the answer of what happened to Tim Drake after Final Crisis and Battle for the Cowl. And what I mean by that is, when it came to Grant Morrison's run on Batman, you had a lot of Batman stories before Final Crisis, and Tim Drake was the Robin in those stories. But then Final Crisis happened, and of course we saw the death of Bruce Wayne, but then we also saw Battle for the Cowl storyline, which of course gave us Dick Grayson as Batman. But after those two storylines right there, Grant Morrison came back to Batman, gave us Batman and Robin, but Dick Grayson is Batman and Damian Wayne is Robin. And the question was then, what happened to Tim Drake? Where did he go to? Because he was Robin before that book came out, and now he's no longer Robin. Well, he left the Batcave to go on his own adventure, and also he took up a new mantle. And of course, he called himself Red Robin. Now, Volume 1 technically tells us why Tim Drake left the Batcave, but also what Tim Drake is up to after the death of Bruce Wayne. Somebody he actually looked up to as another father figure in his life. And so Red Robin Volume 1 gives us all the answers that we are actually looking for. Now, when I say Red Robin left the Batcave, I really should say he left Gotham completely. Matter of fact, you had Red Robin go across the globe. And so when we actually jump into the storyline, right now we pick up with Red Robin in Spain, where of course he's trying to save some politician's daughter who was kidnapped by some terrorists. Now, of course, is Red Robin being Red Robin, and we see him right now being able to actually fight against these men who had kidnapped her. Now, before we get into the section where he actually has to fight against some pyro dude, of course a metahuman, you have Red Robin tell us that he truly believes that Bruce Wayne is not dead. Now, technically, Red Robin is right. Bruce Wayne is not dead. Matter of fact, Bruce Wayne was sent back in time. But when it comes to Red Robin, he doesn't have any hard proof to actually show that Bruce Wayne is dead. And so right now, it's Red Robin saying, I'm going to travel the world to find any piece of evidence that proves that Bruce Wayne is actually not dead. Now, with that being said, though, you do have Red Robin being able to actually take down the pyro metahuman, but to also save the girl. But now we know why he's traveling the world for. One, because he's no longer working with Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne, but on top of that, he just wants to prove that his second father, Bruce Wayne, is actually alive. Now, we do get this flashback, and when we do, it is a way for us to see that when it came to Dick Grayson and Tim Drake, they did have a conversation about Tim staying in the Batcave, except Tim no longer being Robin. And so in this flashback, we kind of find out that Tim could have stayed in the Batcave, it's just that he could not be Robin anymore. Because with Dick Grayson being the new Batman, you had Dick tell Tim, I feel like Damian should be the new Robin of Gotham City, because you and I know that when it comes to Robin, it helps us out. It made us better people. And I feel like the role of Robin could also help out Damian. And so right now, to Tim, he honestly did not have a choice here. Automatically, bam, you are no longer the Robin of Gotham City. Damian is. But I do want you to stay in the Batcave just as something else. Now, of course, Tim does not like Damian, and we saw that in the earlier parts of Grant Morrison's Batman run, because the two had always butted heads. And so now you have Dick giving his role over to the guy he hates the most, and it's kind of like a slap in the face. And so with that being said, you have Tim just walk away angry at Dick and angry at Damian. And so technically, he was not kicked out of the Batcave, he was just kicked out. And so that is the moment where we actually jump to the present day. Now, when we do, we actually do see Tim now in Paris. He left Spain after he was able to save that girl. Now, with him being in Paris right now, it's technically Red Robin telling us that he's trying to have a night to relax. But of course, that is the moment there is some kind of robbery. And of course, he goes out there and he stops the bad guys. Now, while he's doing that, he does explain to us, the readers, why he's calling himself Red Robin. What's the point of the name? And he says that the reason why he's calling himself Red Robin is because he might have to cross certain lines. And when those lines are crossed, he's hoping those actions will not come back to hunt Bruce or Dick. And so that is why he's trying to move away from the Bat family so that when he crosses those lines, it won't affect the Bat family in some kind of way. Now, that is the moment where we do see Tim Drake go back to his hotel room. Now, when he does go back to his hotel room, of course, he continues to think about Bruce Wayne. How Bruce Wayne must be alive somewhere out there in the world, and he has to find Bruce Wayne. Now, while he's actually thinking about that, of course, that is the moment we kind of find out somebody is watching him. Of course, 3 people are, and they have a sniper on him, just waiting for the green light to actually take the shot. Now, that is the moment we kind of find out that these 3 guys, they actually work for Ra's al Ghul, which means that for some strange reason, Ra's al Ghul wants something from Tim Drake. The problem is, though, we have no idea what he wants from Tim Drake. But when we jump into Red Robin number 2, we actually jump forward 24 hours. And when we do, we see Tim Drake right now on a plane going somewhere. Now, we have no idea where he is going, but apparently in 24 hours, he did get some device. And he's wondering what he should do with this device, which means that apparently he does survive his battle against the assassins we saw at the end of the last chapter, but then he also gets some kind of device from them. And the question is, though, what in the world is the device he has? And so getting back to the present day, we actually do see him being able to survive that sniper attack. And matter of fact, we come to find out it wasn't just a regular sniper, that apparently the bullet has some kind of bomb inside of it. Either way, he was able to survive that, change into his Red Robin suit, and begin the process of actually fighting against these guys. But then we get another flashback, and this flashback actually takes place right after you had Dick Grayson tell Tim you are no longer going to be the Robin of Gotham City. And we come to find out that after that happened, Tim just disappeared. And matter of fact, because he disappeared and no one knew where he went to, everybody began to look for him. Alfred did, Lucius Fox did, his friends. Everybody began to try to find where in the world Tim Drake went to. And we come to find out that this was him leaving Gotham without saying goodbye. He didn't say goodbye to anybody at all. And matter of fact, he went to a secret base that he had somewhere in Gotham. And of course, we come to find out that homeboy had a Red Robin suit ready to go, just in case he had to go down this path. But either way, though, this is him right now leaving Gotham and saying, listen, I am going to prove that Bruce Wayne is alive, with help or without help. Either way, I can tell right now, I am not going to get any help from anybody here in Gotham. And so why in the world should I say goodbye to anybody? And so he left just like that. And so that is the moment where we actually jump back to the present day. Now, when we do, we pick up right now with Red Robin actually fighting against the 3 assassins that were sent by Ra's al Ghul, sorry. Either way right now, when it comes to the 3 assassins, Red Robin is actually able to handle them. He's able to go toe-to-toe with these 3 assassins, which honestly, I kind of feel like if you're part of the League of Assassins, you should still be somewhat of a challenge for someone else, even though he was trained by Batman. Either way, while you have Red Robin fight against these guys, well, that is the moment you have Red Robin realize or learns what their names are. Owens, Prue, and Z. Now those names right there are going to be very important for this video, but the next one as well. Now the reason why he learned their names is because while they're all trying to work together to actually take him down, they're calling out to one another by their real names or their code names. Either way right now is Red Robin being able to go toe-to-toe with these guys. And so that is the moment where we actually jump over to Cape Town, South Africa. Now when we do, we actually pick up with this random guy who works for the government. But apparently this guy got a note, and on that note it said he was going to die. And of course, that note came from the League of Assassins. And so they're saying, hey man, listen, we're going to kill you very soon. And so you had the government give him some kind of protection service to hopefully protect him so that he would not be killed off. Unfortunately, he was still killed off by an assassin that comes from the League of Assassins. And remember, the League of Assassins, they work for Ra's al Ghul. Now with that being said, right after the assassin had killed off his target, well, someone else killed the assassin from behind. And so now it seems like someone is going around killing off assassins that come from the League of Assassins. And the question is right now, who? Now when we jump back to the present day, we actually pick up right now with Tim Drake still fighting against the 3 assassins that were sent by Ra's al Ghul. Now, Ra's al Ghul actually told his 3 guys to disappear, get out of there. He had enough of you guys trying to fight against Tim Drake. You're not going to beat him. And so, of course, they do disappear. Now, when they do disappear, they do leave something behind. And of course, they leave behind the earpiece. And we kind of find out that apparently the earpiece is what we saw at the very beginning of the 2nd chapter, the random device we saw in Tim Drake's hand. And so this is now Tim Drake going to be able to actually communicate with Ra's al Ghul and try to figure out why in the world Ra's al Ghul was trying to contact Tim Drake. Now that is the moment where we actually do have another flashback, but this flashback does take place right after the last one we did, where we still see Tim Drake right now getting ready to leave Gotham as Red Robin. Now while he's trying to get ready, well, that is the moment you have Stephanie Brown appear. Now this is actually very huge because when it comes to Stephanie Brown, her and Tim Drake dated, and matter of fact, he was in love with her. He cared for her a lot. And when he stepped down as Robin, he let her become Robin in his place. Now the problem was though, she died. Now originally, the fan base and of course the characters in DC Comics truly believed that she did die. Now we did kind of find out later on that she technically faked her death, and that is why Tim Drake is very upset about that idea, that she did fake her death. But on top of that, he's mad at her for being spoiler again, because once she came back, she was supposed to give up the hero life, and here she is right now being a hero, and it bothers him. But on top of that, the way she is talking to him, it kind of seems that she does not believe him when he says that Bruce Wayne is still alive. And what he's doing right now is overreacting when it comes to Dick Grayson making Damian be the new Robin. Either way, you have Tim just go ahead and leave Stephanie Brown, but of course in bad blood. But then when we jump back to the present day, we do see Tim Drake actually contact Ra's al Ghul. Now this is very huge because that means that possibly Tim Drake and Ra's al Ghul are now going to work together. And the question is still what? What does Ra's al Ghul want from Tim Drake? And so when we jump into the 3rd chapter of this book, we actually do pick up right now with Red Robin breaking into some kind of museum in Berlin. Now, at first, we're not technically told why he's doing that. I mean, we are told he's right now trying to find more proof that Bruce Wayne is still alive. The question is though, what is the proof? What is the evidence that shows that Bruce Wayne is still alive in this museum? Now, while he is breaking into the museum, we come to find out that he is actually talking to Ra's al Ghul. And this is Ra's al Ghul telling Tim Drake that he also believes in the idea that Bruce Wayne is not dead, that Bruce Wayne is still alive. And this is huge because now it's Ra's al Ghul saying, listen man, I'm going to help you figure out if Bruce Wayne is dead or alive. I just want some kind of confirmation like you do. And so we should work together to find that confirmation. Now, while you have Red Robin right now, breaking into this museum, of course, he does trigger an alarm. And when he does trigger that alarm, of course, you do have a random character who is apparently the protector of this museum, known as the Wild Huntsman, appear to, of course, attack Red Robin. And so that is the moment where we do get another flashback. And with this flashback right here, we actually do pick up right now with Tim Drake at the grave of Bruce Wayne, which tells us right off the bat that right after they had buried Bruce Wayne, Tim Drake had a hard time believing in the idea that Bruce Wayne is actually dead. And so right now, it's Tim Drake telling to the grave of Bruce Wayne, I'm going to find you. I'm going to prove that you are still alive. Now, while he is talking to the grave, of course, that is the moment you have Wonder Girl appear. Now, this makes sense because him and Wonder Girl, they're on a lot of teams together. Young Justice, Teen Titans, they are technically close friends. And so this is Wonder Girl coming to Red Robin and saying, hey, I want to talk to you about what you're actually going through. But getting back to the present day, we actually pick up with another branch of Wayne Enterprises that is technically in Moscow, Russia. And so that is the moment we actually do pick up with the daughter of Lucius Fox, and that will be Tamara Fox. And right now you have her father calling her up in the middle of the meeting to ask her for a particular favor. Now we have no idea what this favor is, but of course she's all like, okay, dad, do it for you. And now we're left to wonder, what did he ask his daughter to actually do? Now, getting back over to Red Robin, we do see him right now still trying to fight against the Wild Huntsman. Now, when it comes to Red Robin actually fighting against the Wild Huntsman, he's having a hard time actually doing it. And matter of fact, it's the Wild Huntsman being able to beat down on Red Robin. But that is the moment you do have Red Robin actually be saved by the three assassins we saw earlier that work for Ra's al Ghul. And of course, that will be Z, Prue, and Owens. They all here again to actually help out Red Robin to fight against the Wild Huntsman. And like I said, these three characters are going to be somewhat important for this storyline. And so that is the moment where we actually jump over to Washington, D.C. Now, when we do, we pick up right now with some kind of trial going on in a courtroom. Now, when it comes to this trial, right now you do have this very important witness on the stand. Now, this witness is actually not that important because she is killed off. And the reason why she dies is because she was also targeted to be killed off by the League of Assassins. And of course she was. The problem is though, the assassin that was assigned to kill her, he was able to complete his goal, but then he was also killed off as well, like earlier with the other assassin. And so it shows that someone is going around right now killing off different assassins left and right. Now this is where we actually jump back in time, back to the conversation between Wonder Girl and Red Robin. Now, when it comes to this conversation, guys, it gets a tad bit weird. And what I mean by that is we actually do pick up right now with Red Robin talking to Wonder Girl and telling her that he feels responsible for a lot of different things that had happened in Gotham most recently. So for example, there was a new anarchy, right? And Red Robin had this plan to bring his parents to hopefully convince Anarchy to stop being the bad guy. Well, the problem was though, the parents brought their younger children, Anarchy's siblings, and of course some things happened and now those two kids are dead. Then on top of that, it was Red Robin who had convinced the people that Jason Todd is better now and to be let out of prison, and of course that led into the Battle for the Cow storyline. and then he blames himself for not fighting back against the anti-life equation when it came to Final Crisis, which honestly, that took place way after the first two events. Sorry, it took place before those two events. So it was Final Crisis, then Anarchy, and then Battle for the Cowl Jason Todd storyline. Either way, it's Red Robin telling Wonder Girl that he feels responsible for all those different things. Here comes the problem with this section. In every single memory we see right now, he's wearing the Red Robin outfit. The problem is though, he did not become Red Robin until after Battle for the Cowl storyline, after Dick Grayson had stopped Jason Todd from going around in Gotham pretending to be this new Batman. And so getting back to the present day, we do see Red Robin right now fighting against the Wild Huntsman. Now, while fighting against the Wild Huntsman, he does get some help from the three assassins that work for Ra's al Ghul. But while you have the four characters working together to actually stop the Wild Huntsman, here comes the big problem though. Because as soon as they're able to defeat the Wild Huntsman, the assassins want to kill him off. And the Red Robin, they don't do that. We don't kill. Now again though, earlier we saw Red Robin. He said he might have to cross some lines to actually accomplish this goal, to prove that Bruce Wayne is alive. And so right now it seems like he's not going to cross that line. Now the reason why he's not going to cross the line here, but he might do it down the road in the future, because the Wild Huntsman is technically an innocent guy, just some guy who was protecting this museum. Either way, you do have Red Robin tell Ra's al Ghul to call off his assassins. And just like that, you have Ra's al Ghul say, fine, I'll do it, and they step away. Now going back in time one more time where we actually do see Red Robin and Wonder Girl conversation wrap up, this conversation right here takes a turn for the worse, because this is Wonder Girl coming to Tim Drake and trying to tell him that she understands what he's going through, because she has also lost a lot of people, and so has he. And so it is a way for them to actually bond with one another. The problem is though, while you have the two characters actually talking to one another, you have Red Robin tell Wonder Girl that he believes that Bruce Wayne is alive. Now this is huge, because as we saw earlier, he didn't tell anybody that he thought Bruce Wayne was still alive. This is the first person that he tells. And of course, as soon as he tells Wonder Girl, she begins to worry about him even more, because now it seems like Tim Drake cannot actually let go. In reality, he should let go. Now, technically, in reality, he should not let go because Bruce Wayne's still alive. Either way, to Wonder Girl, she's kind of like, oh my God, he's having a hard time grieving. He cannot let go. And as soon as Tim Drake sees her face, he realized he made a mistake by telling her that. And he disappears and leaves. But right after that, you have Wonder Girl call up Dick Grayson to tell Dick Tim Drake needs a lot of help. He needs your help, Dick. But getting back over to Tim Drake in the present day, we do see Tim Drake right now going to Iraq. Now, when he does arrive to Iraq, we can tell right now he's still looking for more proof to prove that Bruce Wayne is not dead. But as soon as he does arrive into Iraq, well, that is the moment he's confronted by the three assassins who work for Ra's al Ghul, which means that they are going to be here to help him to figure out if Bruce Wayne is still alive or not. And matter of fact, they call him their boss. Now, when we get into the fourth chapter, that is the moment where we actually do see that before Tim Drake had left Gotham, he was confronted by Dick Grayson Batman. And so we're now going to see what their conversation was about in the past, while you still have Dick Grayson in the present day trying to prove that Bruce Wayne is still alive. But back in the present day, we do see Tim Drake right now in Iraq and about to go talk to the three assassins that work for Ra's al Ghul. Now, right when he's about to do that, well, that is the moment he is surrounded by a bunch of military people. And the reason why, because they're about to arrest Tim Drake. Now, the reason why they're going to arrest Tim Drake is because he has been traveling under fake names. But of course, the last fake name he used was back in Germany. And of course, in Germany, there was a big robbery. And so the Germany police officers technically said that if you see this man in your country, he could be involved in a huge robbery here in our country and probably on the run. And so when he arrived here in Iraq, of course, you have the military men stop him and say, hey, listen, we got word that you are involved in some kind of robbery. And so it seems like Tim Drake is about to get arrested. Now, luckily for Tim Drake, that is the moment you do have one of the assassins, Z, being able to actually help Tim Drake get out of this situation by pretending to be Tim Drake's bodyguard and telling the soldiers, no guys, this is Tim Wayne or Tim Drake. He works for Wayne Enterprises and we're here right now in Iraq for a business meeting. So I'm asking you guys to please go ahead and leave him alone. And of course, you do have the soldiers actually back off. Now for Tim Drake, he's wondering why in the world are these three guys so big on actually, helping him out. Yes, he does know they work for Ra's al Ghul, but there has to be another reason. Now back in Berlin, we do see that someone is actually looking for Tim Drake. And of course, that person would be Tina Fox, because her father, Lucius Fox, asked her to go around the world to hopefully find Tim Drake or Tim Wayne. Either way right now, she's on the hunt for Tim Drake because we see her at the hotel that he was at in the last city in Berlin. And so she is getting very close into actually finding Tim Drake. But then we jump back over to the present day. Now, when we do, we actually pick up right now with Tim Drake getting ready for his next mission. Now, while he is getting ready for his next mission, so are the three assassins who were assigned to him by Ra's al Ghul. They're also getting ready for this next mission. Now, this next mission is going to be more proof that technically Bruce Wayne is still alive. Now, with that being said, you have Tim Drake right now trying to lose these guys or get rid of them. But you didn't have one of the assassins tell Tim Drake, listen, you are about to go into a heavy protected military area. And of course, you're going to need our help if you want to actually reach your goal. But on top of that, myself, is trying to repay you for actually helping me. Now, for Tim Drake, he's very confused on what this guy means. But the guy says when you, Batman, and Damian Wayne technically worked together, which of course brought Ra's al Ghul back to life, it was kind of like having my father back in my life again. Because this guy right here looks up to Ra's al Ghul, and he looks at Ra's al Ghul as a father. And so right now, he's telling Tim Drake, listen, I know what it's like to want to have your role model back. And with Batman gone, we all understand you want to bring him back to life or find the proof that he's still alive. And so this is us trying to repay you because technically you helped us get our father back. And so that is why we're trying to stay around here to actually help you out. Yes, we do work for Ra's al Ghul, but at the same time, we also have personal reasons to help you out. But going back in time, we do get another piece of the conversation between Dick Grayson and Tim Drake. Because this is Dick Grayson now realizing that Tim Drake is going out in the world to technically look to find any kind of proof that Bruce Wayne is still alive. And so this is Dick right now telling Tim it's not possible. And the reason why you have Dick actually doing this, because he says, listen, man, you have to realize, even though we live in this insane world where we have folks with powers left and right, and folks did come back to life left and right. But at the same time, you have to realize that in some cases, people do not come back at all once they're killed off. Yes, some folks did, but others do not. And matter of fact, you have to realize that Bruce somehow knew it was coming very soon. Like he knew that he was going to die very soon. And so it was a way for Bruce to get us ready for his death. But on top of that, Superman had looked over the body and said, yes, this is Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is dead now. Now, with that being said, technically Batman's still alive, but either way, they have no idea. Now, Tim Drake, he believes that Bruce Wayne's still alive, but for Dick Grayson, he's kind of like, dude, we have to let go and move on. So please, come back to the Batcave so we can talk more. But that is the moment you have literally Tim Drake grab Batman and begin to throw him to the ground and say, no, I'm not going back to the Batcave. And so that is the moment where we actually jump back to the present day, where we do see Tim Drake and the three assassins right now being able to actually get through the military to find the cave that Red Robin was looking for. Now, once he finds this cave is going to be very important for a later video because Bruce Wayne's not dead. Bruce Wayne is still alive. And matter of fact, he's stuck in the past. And so with that being said, you do have Tim Drake find this cave. And when he does go inside the cave, Tim finds a bat symbol. And just like that, he now has enough proof to say Bruce Wayne is still alive and Bruce Wayne is somewhere else. He has no idea where or what time, but he has an idea that Bruce Wayne could still be alive. And this cave and this symbol is going to be very important for later videos we do down the road. And so that is the moment where we do jump back in time. Now, when we do, we're able to actually continue the conversation between Batman and Red Robin. And matter of fact, it's Tim trying to tell Dick, you don't understand what I'm going through because I lost so many people in a short period of time. My mother, my father, Bruce, heck, even Stephanie died for a good period of time. But in reality, though, she was not dead. Either way, it's Tim saying, Dick, you understand what I'm going through right now is hard for me. But something deep in my bones tells me that Bruce Wayne is still alive. And so if you trust me, if you look at me as equals, if you look at me as a younger brother, then you will let me do this. You will let me go out there and prove that Bruce Wayne is still alive. And so matter of fact, you have Tim tell Dick, I'm leaving and there's nothing you can do about it. And so you have Tim just leave on a bike and you have Dick realize that yes, he could not change the mind of Tim Drake to stay in Gotham City. But back in the present day, you do have Tim Drake getting ready to leave the cave where of course he found that bat symbol. But while he is leaving, well, that is the moment the assassins that had came with him that were assigned to him by Ra's al Ghul, well, they begin to be killed off one by one because that is the moment we are introduced to the Widower. And the Widower apparently is going to be the next bad guy for the next storyline. Because the way the storyline ends, you do have this new character come in and just kill off all the assassins that were assigned to Tim Drake just like that, gone. Now you do have Tim Drake try to fight against him, but the Widower was able to take out Tim Drake as well. Now we're left to believe that Tim Drake is quote unquote dead, but he's not dead. But you do have Ra's al Ghul calling out to Tim like, hey, did you find what you're looking for? And why are you not answering me? Because right now Tim is passing out and bleeding out. But with that being said, this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.